You're not in love. You're reacting to a wound. The person you can't stop thinking about isn't consistent, isn't fully available, doesn't show up the way you say you need. And yet they feel magnetic, important, different. If you stay with me for the next few minutes, you're going to understand why the people who ignore you feel addictive, and why calm, consistent love can feel almost boring. Because this isn't chemistry, it's conditioning. And if you don't see it clearly, you will repeat it again. Think about what actually happens inside you. When they don't reply, your chest tightens. Your mind replays conversations. You analyze tone, timing, punctuation. When they finally respond, you feel relief that borders on euphoria. That emotional drop and spike isn't romance. It's activation. Your nervous system is reacting to unpredictability, not intimacy. And unpredictability is powerful. The human brain is wired to chase resolution. When something feels incomplete, uncertain, or inconsistent, it holds your attention longer. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. It's the same mechanism that keeps people addicted to gambling. You don't get rewarded every time. You get rewarded randomly. And randomness intensifies desire. Every time they give you attention after pulling away, your brain releases a stronger dopamine surge than it would from steady affection. The uncertainty amplifies the reward. The absence makes the presence feel bigger. You aren't bonding with the person, you're bonding with the cycle. And if you grew up with emotional inconsistency, a parent who was loving sometimes but distant at other times, your nervous system learned early that love is unstable. It learned that connection comes with anxiety. So now, when someone is calm and secure, your body doesn't light up. It relaxes. And if you're not used to safety, relaxation feels unfamiliar, maybe even dull. But when someone is distant, confusing, slightly out of reach, your system recognizes it. It feels like home. You don't crave them, you crave resolution. You crave finally being chosen by someone who once felt uncertain. It feels like love, but it's reparative. You're trying to rewrite an old emotional script through a new person. Here's the uncomfortable part. You say you want stability. You say you want peace. Yet you feel drawn to unpredictability. That tension isn't weakness. It's conditioning. What you call spark might actually be anxiety. What you call chemistry might be your attachment system getting triggered. And that intensity can feel powerful. It makes small gestures feel monumental. It makes silence feel heavy. It makes the connection feel rare. But drama is not depth. Activation is not intimacy. Let me ask you something that might shift everything. If this person suddenly became consistent, if they replied quickly, reassured you, showed up without games, would the intensity feel the same? Or would something inside you calm down? That question matters because sometimes the thing you're addicted to isn't the person. It's the emotional roller coaster. It's the spike and drop, the uncertainty and relief. And when your self-worth starts tying itself to their attention, the cycle becomes dangerous. Every delayed message feels like rejection. Every moment of distance feels personal. You start shrinking your needs. You tolerate confusion. You rationalize behavior that makes you anxious. Not because you're naive, but because your nervous system is trying to complete an old story. You believe that if you can just get them to choose you fully, everything will settle. But even if they do, the deeper wound doesn't disappear, because the wound is older than them. They just activated it. You were never addicted to them. You were addicted to the hope that this time, unpredictability would finally turn into security. That this time, distance would turn into devotion. But healing doesn't come from being chosen by someone inconsistent. It comes from choosing what feels stable, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. Real connection is quieter than you think. It doesn't spike your anxiety. It doesn't make you question your worth. It doesn't leave you guessing. It feels safe. And safety, when you're not used to it, can feel strange. But strange doesn't mean wrong. Strange might mean healthy. Corewound isn't about blaming other people. It's about recognizing the pattern before it runs your life. Because once you see that your attachment isn't about them, but about an unresolved emotional imprint, the illusion starts to lose power. And when the illusion fades, so does the obsession. If this felt uncomfortably accurate, comment one phrase. It's the pattern. And if you're ready to confront the wound instead of repeating it, subscribe to Corewound. We don't offer comfort here. We offer clarity.